Hi, good day to everyone. So I hope you guys are in a very good of health. Okay, so today I'm going to teach and recap our lesson on how to write section B for writing paper. Okay, there are two contents that I'm going to touch. So first, I'm going to teach you on how to study the instructions and how to find the keywords. Second, we are going to learn on how to write section B in a correct manner. Okay, so there are several types of instructions that you might come across in the questions. Okay, let's take a look at the first questions. Okay, we are going to look at on how many points do I have to write. Okay, so please remember the devil is in the details. The instructions might seem simple and clear, but sometimes pupils do make mistakes by writing more or less points. So let's take a look at these two instructions. Okay, the first one, your cousin would like to visit Langkawi during the school holidays. Write an email telling her about 3 interesting places in Langkawi. Okay, so it's already stated there, you have to write about 3 interesting places. So you cannot write less and you cannot write more. Okay, and the next one, your cousin would like to visit Langkawi during the school holidays. Write an email telling her about one of the interesting places in Langkawi. So you might come across different types of instructions. You have to read it very carefully, whether they ask you about 3, about 4, or maybe about one of the interesting places. And sometimes the question might ask you about at least 3 interesting places. So when there's the word at least, you cannot write less. You have to write at least 3, means 3 or more. Okay? Second, we are going to look at on what point do I have to write. It can be activities, it can be about people, it can be about food, place, or maybe events. Okay? So now, the example is your school will organize a sports day event. Write an email telling your friend about 3 interesting activities during the event. Okay, so you have to write about activities. And the second one, your school will organize a sports day event. Write an email telling your friend about the event. Okay, alright, so the first one you have to write about activities. But the second instruction, you have to write about the event. Okay, so for the second instructions, okay, you are not being limited, okay, to write only about the activities, but you can also include the day of the event, the time of the event, and also the venue of the event. Okay, and so you have to remember that for section B, you can only write between 50 to 80 words. Okay, so if the question asks you to write about activities, just focus on writing about the activities. Okay, don't waste your word limit by writing about other points. Okay, and the third one is about the tenses. Which tenses do I have to use? Whether it is in present tense, past tense, or maybe future tense. Okay, so not all questions you have to write using present tense. Okay, for an example, your school organized a camping trip on last school holiday. Write an email telling your cousin about 3 interesting activities you did. Okay, so you have to write about 3 interesting activities you did, and that's the word did over there. So did is the past tense form for do. Okay, and the next one, your school will organize, belum berlaku lagi, a camping trip on next school holiday. So write an email telling your friend about the activities that you will attend. Okay, so there's the word will over there. Benda belum berlaku lagi. Okay, alright. Next one, we're going to learn on how to. Okay, so this is your writing planner. So once when you get your question, okay, jangan nak terus tulis, jangan nak terus jawab. Okay, read your instruction first. Apa dia nak, berapa dia nak. Okay, macam mana dia nak? Dia nak past tense ke, present tense ke? Okay, alright, so the first one you have to find the tough. Okay, so the keyword is tough. T is for to. Okay, to whom should you send this? To a girl or to a boy? To your teacher or to your friend or maybe to your cousin? Okay, so there's always a difference, okay, when you write to your teacher or when you write to your cousin. Okay, when you write to your cousin, you can use informal letter, surat tidak rasmi. But if the question asks you to write a letter to your teacher, you cannot use informal letter, but you have to use formal letter. Okay, so about what? Do you have to write about place, about activities, or about food? Alright, and last one is format. So format, we have like email, messages, letters, okay, and also notice. Okay, so all the details here are in the instructions, so you have to underline or you have to highlight or you have to circle the keyword TAF. Okay, and after that, after you find the TAF, you can start writing. Okay, you can start by your introduction, by writing your introduction. So the simplest one is, how are you? I hope you are fine. All right, and next one, you can continue with the content. So I've given you like these 5 contents for you to remember, so you don't have to write all. You have to choose which of the content suits your essay the best. All right, okay, next one, after you write your content, you have to include your points and reasons. Okay, so you have to use your first, second, third, next, then. Okay, and so if the question asks you to write about activity, then you have to use first, the activity is. If the question asks you to write about food, then you can write first, the food is. So it depends on what the questions want. Okay, and then after you write down the point, you must have your reason why you choose that activity, why you choose that place, why you choose that food. There must be a reason why. Okay, so every point must have reason. Clear? Alright, and then last one, you must have your closure. That is all for now. Bye. Okay, alright, so now let us try to write. Okay, so here, your cousin would like to visit Langkawi during the school holidays. Write an email telling her about 3 interesting places in Langkawi. Your answer must be between 50 to 80 words only. Okay, so first of all, you have to find your tough T to A about F format. Okay, so now let us take a look. To whom should we send this email? Okay, the first one is to your cousin. So we have to identify whether your cousin is a boy or a girl. So there's the word her. Okay, so when there's the word her, we must send this email to a girl. So you can choose any names, Aliyah, Amina, ATIEQAH. Okay, and then next one, about. T, we are already done with our T to now about. Okay, so we have to write about 3 interesting places in Langkawi. And last one is the F format. Okay, so the format that you have to write is an email. Okay, so we are using our introduction, content, points and reasons, closure. Okay, do you still remember our writing planner just now? Okay, so now we're gonna start with our introduction. So our introduction just now is, how are you? I hope you are fine. Okay, and then the content, I heard that you want to visit Langkawi during the school holidays. I want to tell you about 3 interesting places in Langkawi. Okay, so you cannot use I want to choose because you are not choosing it for yourself. Okay, you are choosing it for your cousin. All right, and then you can use I want to suggest about 3 interesting places in Langkawi. Also can, okay, by using suggest. Okay, so you already have your introduction, you already have your content. Now let us move on to points and reasons. So the first point is, first, the place is Makam Mahsuri. It is very interesting. So first, the place is Makam Mahsuri is the point. It is very interesting is the reason. Okay, so every point must have reason. Okay, second, the place is Eagle Square. That's the second point. You can buy souvenirs. So there is the second reason. Third, the place is Pantai Chenang. Okay, that's the third point. It is a beautiful place. You can take many pictures. That is the third reasons. And last one is the closure. That is all for now. Bye. Okay. So if you have all of this, okay, it may help you, okay, to get more marks. All right. Introduction, content, points and reasons, and also closure. So I seriously hope that you understand my explanation here about on how to write section B for writing paper. So